Do you think it's good?
Mm-hmm. And I really like your sauce. Wow, that is really a good flavor.
Yeah, it's not too salty.
Oh, no,
It's basically a cream sauce. I did put a little parm in it,
Okay.
Parmesan.
Yeah, since I wasn't watching, I don't know what's in it, but that
Yeah.
is a great sauce. I like it.
I think I would have added a little bit more sun-dried tomato. If you get a bite of the sun-dried tomato, oh, I tell you, the flavor of it, it's like roasting it. You get that little tart, that little sweet in it. Oh, good. You guys, this is a winner. I'm so excited. Hey, hi you guys. Welcome to my little kitchen. I'm Amy Roloff. So I'm so glad you're watching this video. I think you guys have noticed that I'm starting to wear glasses a little bit more. Not that I can't, see, the phone here, because it's on my iPhone that I'm doing this video on. Because I'm looking at my recipe here on Amy Roloff's little kitchen book stand here. And so that's my recipe that I'll have to type up. But I want to make sure that I don't forget any of the ingredients. Because when I'm just doing this on my own without doing a video, I just kind of, oh yeah, I get this. Oh yeah, I forgot that. I'll go in the fridge or the pantry or wherever I need to be. But when I'm doing this video, I don't assume that y'all are going to want to watch, me taking 10 minutes to grate Parmesan cheese or cut up an onion and see my eyes all tear up and I look like a mess, which I probably still do right now. Or, cut up meat and stuff like that. I think for the most part, we all know what that kind of detail entails. But anyway, I do have to wear glasses now. I'm getting to that age where I can't always see my notes or I've got to write better. But anyway, we're in my little kitchen. We're doing a recipe right now, and I'm not sure what I'm going to call this because it's almost like I'm marrying two recipes together. One of them being Tuscan chicken, the other one being that, what I've seen online a lot, marry me chicken. And so it's kind of like a combination of them, of the both of them. But basically, there's slight differences to those recipes. If you go out there and look at all the different recipes out there, there's a slight difference, but they still involve cream. They still involve chicken, some onions. Tuscan chicken may involve some mushrooms, maybe not. It really depends on your preference. But I'm going to put mushrooms in mine. There's a couple of recipes that really don't require any seasonings, but wait a minute, this ain't it. But I wanted to add a little bit of oregano to this. I think it complements sun-dried tomatoes. Now, I know I just licked my finger. I'll tell you a story about these sun-dried tomatoes. I don't use them a lot, and I don't know why, because they're really good and tasty and so full of flavor. It's like when you roast tomatoes, so much of the flavor comes out. Sun-dried tomatoes is kind of like that. All the water content has gone away, but that nice, robust, hearty, sometimes sweet flavor of the tomato really comes out. Anyway, I'm at the grocery store. I had a little jar in my refrigerator, and because I don't use much of it, I'm looking at the date. I'm like, okay, I think this needs to go be thrown out. And then I realized I didn't have any sun-dried tomatoes that I wanted to make with this dish. And so I went to the store, and of course, the one item that I want is on the very top shelf. And it's one of those situations, once again, in my life, everyday life, because I probably go to the grocery store. Thankfully, I don't live too far from one. Probably at least 3 times a week, maybe more. And I will tell you this, though. I'm feeling it just like every one of you out there, too. Groceries are costing a lot more, which is a total bummer. And I'll repeat myself here because, those that are on a very, very fixed budget or don't make a lot, low income and stuff like that. Eating healthy and good is very expensive, and it takes work to know what's in season and stuff like that. So I am very appreciative that I can still do what I do, and but I'm feeling it. My grocery bill is like, okay, I better think more about what I'm doing. So anyway, so I couldn't find the sun-dried tomatoes in the jar within the oil. I have no idea what Daisy is barking at. I have none. Anyway, so I couldn't, the jar up there was too high, and I really couldn't see it. And I'm thinking, did everyone go out and buy sun-dried tomatoes? I don't know. So I found this package of sun-dried tomatoes in the produce area, because sometimes they have the jar in the produce area as well, but no such luck. And so what I did here, I kind of chopped up a little bit of the sun-dried tomatoes in the package without oil. And I just put a little salt on here and a little oil, because I just wanted to kind of soften them up before they go into this nice, rich, tasty cream sauce. And that's part of the Tuscan and Marry Me chicken. So sometimes, I always don't find my most ideal ingredients all the time, because there was no one around that I could ask. And I hate walking around the whole store to find an employee to help me. I don't know. I just don't do it a lot. Anyway, so I'm kind of improvising here. But if you can find the jar of, the oil sun-dried tomatoes, that is great. They're moist. They're tender. Drain off some of the oil before you use it. Or reserve some of that oil and use it in another dish. I mean, don't waste it. It's got so much flavor in it. So anyway, a long about story about sun-dried tomatoes. But that's my world. Anyway, I don't know. I haven't been able to really grow basil in my house. So I bought, probably expensive, fresh basil at the store. And I tried to buy fresh basil in the store, and I think because the roots aren't attached is why this wilts. I immediately put this in water, and like hours later, definitely by the next day, all my basil's wilted. So I gotta figure that out, because this is expensive. We're not using this. This is for my shaved Brussels sprouts. I cooked up some bacon for that. Anyway, so Marry Me chicken and Tuscan chicken. I don't know what I'm gonna call this. Tell you the truth, I'm just probably gonna call this chicken in a creamy sun-dried tomato sauce. How about that? And maybe spinach. Sometimes I make the titles way too long. But we've got some chicken here. I took boneless chicken breast. This was only 3 chickens, but by the time I pounded them out, they were big breasts. I got them at our local meat place. And so I pounded them out, and they were big. So no one's gonna eat that big of a chicken. So Chris will be happy, because it's definitely, we've got leftovers. I should have invited some other people over. Anyway, so I pounded out the chicken, and I cut each breast of chicken in half. So basically I have 6 pieces here. So depending on the size of your chicken, if you can get thinly sliced chicken breast, great. Go ahead and use that. Your chicken will cook up in minutes. I went ahead and just got regular chicken breasts and pounded them out. I've already salted them. Okay, I'm doing mushrooms here. I'm just going to cut up this last mushroom. Yeah. And about mushrooms, I learned this from Rachel Ray a long time ago, and you know what? It really makes sense. I used to always run water over my mushrooms, but the thing is, a mushroom is like a sponge. And when you put water on it, now it's absorbing that water. The mushroom is absorbing that water. So I just use a piece of paper towel, and I just wipe the mushroom, make sure the dirt's off, clean it off, get the little dirt particles, if there is any, off of the mushroom. This is about a half a package of an 8-ounce package, or I would have to say 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 to 8 mushrooms if you buy them in bulk and you just pick them out, about 6 to 8 mushrooms, or half a package of 8-ounce package. So I got mushrooms there. I did half of an onion, sliced that up. This is for my Brussels sprouts later. And yes, I am going to go ahead and put spinach in this. Spinach is probably used more with, I think, Tuscan chicken or Marry Me. I cannot remember. Like I said, this is going to be a combination of the two. And I'm good with that because I like a lot of that. I like a lot of that, but this doesn't have that. That doesn't have that. So we're going to make, or I'm going to make my own dish. I'm going to put in a little bit of, a few pepper flakes. Not a lot, just a few, just to give it that little kick. A little bit of oregano, like I said. And I am going to go ahead and put in a little bit of chicken broth, only maybe about a half a cup. I think that'll create some flavor and some richness, and will help the whipped cream as well. How, I don't know, but I just know. I'm going to dust the chicken with flour because anytime, lately, anytime that I do chicken now, a skinless, boneless chicken breast, I dust it with flour. It is amazing how just that dusting with flour will keep the juices in, will keep your chicken moist as long as you don't overcook it. And so I'm a big fan of just dusting it. If you need to bread, you know, as you do the three thing, meaning flour, egg, and whatever breadcrumbs, panko crumbs, or whatever, that dusting part is really important, not only for the chicken to maintain its moisture and tenderness and not dry out, but of course it helps the egg adhere to the chicken breast instead of just sliding off. So anyway, what else do I got here? I might even add a little bit of tomato paste. And this is what I think a tube of tomato paste is really good if you only need like a tablespoon or two. Other than that, I use the can because I use it up so quick. So we're going to add in a little bit of tomato paste and a little bit of butter. Let me see here. I think that's it. I think I got everything. So let's get going and let's start making this chicken in a creamy sun-dried tomato sauce. Okay. If you see me come back and forth, it's because I click on and off the video. Let's finish grating the parm. So I think this weekend I might be watching a couple of my grandkids, which I'm looking forward to. I always have a good time with them. And to tell you the truth, since I still can have a good time with them at that level, you know, because they're only in kindergarten, 4 years old, 3 years old, I still have the energy and the ability to do it. I will take advantage of it. So what I'm doing here is about I think this will be about a half a cup. I've got to really remember to use, if it makes sense for your soup or any other sauce you're making, to save the rind. It's great in your marinara sauce if you put Parmesan cheese in it, or a soup or anything like that, or a cream-based sauce. I mean, really keep the rinds and add that and just take it out when you're done before you serve it up. It adds so much flavor to it. So I'm just grating this about a half a cup. That'll help thicken up the sauce too. Let me get a bowl for this. Okay. And then, you know, if you got a little extra, be kind of neat to garnish your chicken with a little bit of parm. And just a little chiffonade, or cut your basil in those little ribbons. I tell you, the French cooking really trips me up with some of the pronunciations and everything. Well, sometimes the Italian pronunciations too. I don't know why I have such a hard time with that. It's kind of crazy. But yep, all my kids are doing well. Gotta have them over for dinner. Zach and Tori and family have been gone for a little bit. Jared and Audrey family have been, you know, doing a lot. all my kids are doing a lot. I mean, I'm not retired yet either, but I tell you, I would be at one kid's house one day, the other kid's house the other day, the other kid's house the other day. Sometimes you can be the mother and mother-in-law that's in their face too much. But I miss just not, I don't know, hanging out with them. I love being a grandmother as I love being a mom. I'm hoping to, if I watch Ember and Bodie this weekend, I'm going to come up with a little recipe that the three of us can do together at their kitchen when I watch them. I think that'll be kind of fun. I'll see what they want. Maybe I'll ask them before I come over so I make sure I have everything. Yeah, that's definitely a half a cup. Okay, I still got a little bit more left in here. Okay, well, you know what? We're gonna head on over here. I'm gonna get the pan warmed up, the oil all hot, and the butter, and we are going to start cooking the chicken. I hope I have a big enough pan. So anyway, let's head on over there. Okay, I think my oil is hot enough. I'm gonna just turn it down slightly. Yeah. I'm just gonna dip this in the flour. Make sure it's all covered. Shake it off. I'm hoping I don't have to do this in 2 batches. And so what you want to do, depending on the thickness of your chicken, is to cook it maybe medium-high heat. That's what I have it on. I don't want to cook it too quick. About 5 minutes or so on each side till it's lightly brown. Then you're going to flip it over, cook it for another 3 to 5 minutes, and maybe a few minutes more to make sure it is cooked in the middle. So we're just lightly flouring this, dusting it off, shake it off. Oh, I will just barely get these pieces in here. There we go. And to tell you the truth, I had some leftover bacon grease because I'm going to add a little bit of bacon and shallots to my shaved Brussels sprouts. And so I got a little bacon grease in here too. Not that you need that. Okay. Just barely got all 6 of these in. So like I said, I'm just going to cook it until it's lightly brown. I'll get a new plate. Okay, guess what happened to us, guys? We ran the dishwasher yesterday. It ran perfectly fine. And suddenly this morning or earlier this afternoon, we were going to run the dishwasher again. Chris noticed that none of the lights are on. Nothing's going. It won't turn on. But our sink works, our garbage disposal works, our coffee maker works, but the dishwasher doesn't work. So Chris opened it up to figure out maybe, what could be wrong. Went to the breaker. Then, you go online to figure out if you can do it yourself. And lo and behold, oh, brothers. I think we got to call in an electrician. So I'm going to have to wash all these dishes by hand. And we act like it's the end of the world. But, it's kind of one of those things when you get so used to something, or if that has been your environment, you really forget what so many other people do or how much we take for granted. So I'm going to miss our dishwasher. But I just am so fortunate that Chris is willing to go online and look that up. think they're not quite done. It depends on where in the pan you are. So yeah, like I said, this will take about 5 minutes or more, depending. You want it just a nice light golden brown. And then flip them over. Lightly, you know, saute, sear the other side. I would say saute the other side. And then just let it sit there and rest in the heat for a minute to make sure the internal part of the chicken is cooked. And like I said, it really depends on the size of your chicken, the thickness of your chicken. Oh yeah. I'm gonna flip these over. And so I'm gonna bring you over here. This is the color I like. Oops, hang on guys, I gotta get back on my stool. And so that's the color that I want. So usually it doesn't take as long on the other side, but I'm going to maybe just turn down the heat slightly. And then you just want to keep cooking it. So yeah, so we should be done here in about a few minutes. Okay, I think my chicken is done. I mean, look at that, oops. Look at that nice golden color. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove it, whoops. And there's gonna be all of this nice, delicious juice in here. So in the same pan, I'm not gonna remove any of this. We're gonna go ahead and saute the onions. I have about a half a cup here. And we're just gonna cook this a little bit till it's translucent. I know, I didn't think about it. I've got a lot of dishes I'm gonna have to wash here. Not that that's exactly a problem, but kind of a bummer. I'm gonna go ahead and put in the mushrooms. I think for me, sometimes I like the brown mushrooms, cremini, I think they're called, or the white mushrooms. I'm using the brown here. Why? To tell you the truth, I really don't know. Maybe because of the coloring and everything, and when they brown, kind of makes them look a little more richer. So you cook the onions till they're soft and then add the mushrooms in. I don't want to add salt right now because I really don't want the onions, or especially the mushrooms, to be cooking in water, steaming them. I want them kind of sauteed, toasted a little bit. Why I still have my glasses on, I don't know, people. But I think, gosh, I can't even believe we're almost going into February. I gotta really try and create some weeknights at work for some of my kids and just have them over for dinner. Okay, there we go. We're almost done here. Let me get my tomato paste. My sun-dried tomatoes here, and I can't forget about the garlic. Oh yeah, by the way, you know, here I have the recipe all written out, and I forgot the garlic, so while the chicken was cooking, I went ahead and minced up 3 cloves of garlic. 3, maybe 4. It really depends on the size of them. If you've got some large garlic going on, 3's enough. Oh, I love this. Because I have a little more chicken here than I thought, Those 3 chicken breasts really created a lot. Might have to add a little more cream and a little more broth. Because you definitely, you know, a lot of this is about the sauce and about how you're cooking the chicken. And so you definitely want enough sauce. Okay, I'm gonna squirt in. Oh, I forgot to do this. Boy, that was kind of hard. It's like a little metal. Okay, that's about all. And not only flavor, but this will, let me turn this down a little bit. This will add a little color. I'm gonna go ahead and add my garlic. Saute that a little bit. Yeah, that tomato paste will add a little color, but also flavor and a little bit of richness, I think. I'm gonna add in this, my sun-dried tomatoes, and the oil and everything else that I put in with it. Oh, I'm smelling that garlic. It smells so good. And then I'm gonna put in just a few pepper flakes and about a teaspoon of oregano. Just a few pepper flakes. I don't want this overly spicy. You want it that nice, smooth, really mellow cream sauce. Oh, you guys, it smells so good. Can I touch this? So that's what it's looking like. Does that look good? I think so. Okay, I'm gonna add in a few more tablespoons of butter. Create that nice richness here. And we are going to go ahead and add in our broth and our cream. And the spinach and the basil are the last things we'll add. And the chicken. Okay. So I'm bringing it all over my broth, and so we're going to add a cup. I'm not sure why I put the lid back on here, but I did. We're going to add about 1.5 cups. Like I said, I like to get every little bit out. I'm going to add in about 1/2 cup of chicken broth. And we're going to get this stuff out of the way. Let me not put the spoon back in the butter. You're going to turn this up a little bit. And you're going to let this cook down. Bring it to a nice low boil. You don't want a rapid boil, not when you're dealing with cream. And as you notice, I did not salt this very much. So I'm going to go ahead and add in just a little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. I don't think I need any more oregano. Yeah, we're just gonna let this cook down for a minute. Kind of have it help it thicken up. And if you don't think it's thickening up well enough, well, this is what you can do. You can add a little bit of broth to about a tablespoon of flour, kind of create your own little slurry, and then add this, add it to here to help thicken it up. I've done that many a times because a lot of times the sauce wasn't quite the consistency that I wanted. Okay. I'm going to clean up this mess besides the chicken a little bit, and we'll go from there. Okay, I think this sauce is beginning to thicken up. And like I said, if you think it's too thick, before you even add in some of the Parmesan cheese, you know what? Every time I say parm now, or I think about how I'm saying Parmesan cheese, I always want to say Parmigiano Reggiano. Parmesan Reggiano. So crazy. Okay. And I forgot to cut up the basil. So I'm just going to add maybe, I don't know, half a cup. And grated, obviously, it helps melt it quicker. I'm going to save just a little bit because I just want to sprinkle a little bit on the chicken as a garnish along with some of the basil. I'm just going to stir this in. Before I add in the spinach. We're going to let this, oh man, this looks so good, you guys. Okay, I got my chicken there. I got everything going on. Okay, let me grab the spinach. Now, obviously, spinach melts down or, wilts, or you don't get these big leafy greens when you cook spinach. It'll wilt, it'll almost come down to nothing. I have about a cup here of fresh, and I think to me it's enough. But these are, not the baby spinach. These are big. So some of this I'm just going to kind of tear in half. And we're just going to sprinkle it around just so it melts. You just want like a cup, or yeah. In fact, I might have too much here. I think that's about enough. Yeah, I think I got about a little bit too much spinach here. Thought it was a cup, but we're just gonna kind of let it wilt here, let it cook in and absorb some of that sauce. And like I said, I think I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of chicken broth just to loosen up some of the sauce a little bit. Oh, yeah. And so I'm going to put in some basil so we can get that flavor going. And then we're going to add back the chicken. Okay, if you heard me over there, sorry about that. I just went ahead and, here, let me show you. I just went ahead and, you know, took some basil, and what you do, you layer like a number of them together and you just roll them up. You can see that, and then you just cut it. I'm afraid this might melt here because I can cut them right here. And I just slice them up, and they turn into like little ribbons. So we're just gonna add this to this, add a little bit more flavor. Yeah, that's good. I thought maybe we had a stem in there. No one wants to get a stem, a spinach stem in there. Oh man, you guys, this looks so good. In fact, I would almost add a little bit more of, how much of the dried tomatoes did I say? Yeah, I would say at least a half a cup of sun-dried tomatoes. I think a half a cup is good. Okay, we are now going to nestle in our chicken. Nestle that in. So the chicken can get some of that flavor. And I'm even going to add in the juice from the chicken that's on this plate, because it's all about flavors. It's all about building and layering your flavors, but also, which I am not always the best at having patience for the flavors to develop, and let's not rush the process. So we're gonna just drain all that off, because I tell you, I don't like to leave anything behind. Okay. So there's another dish I'm gonna have to wash. Oh, I tell you, you don't realize how much you miss something until it's gone. And that's why I think if the pandemic taught us anything, it's about don't take for granted the people around you, your family, your friends, or your job, or your neighbors, or, you know, what you have, where you live. Because, you know, we're all doing the best we can. So let's just be grateful for what we have and appreciate that, and let others know that you appreciate that. Okay, you guys, I'm just saying, this looks fabulous. I'm hoping it tastes fabulous, because it looks fabulous. Now, my other thing is, what do you serve with this? I'm going to turn this down just slightly, because I have a hot gas stove or something, because even on simmer, it still bubbles. But I'm going to let this sit and rest and absorb a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and cook my Brussels sprouts, just because I had a lot on hand. So I just shaved it. I'm cooking it in a little bit of bacon grease, chopped up shallots, and a little bit of bacon. And I'll show you that, you know, in a minute here. But yeah, we're just going to keep that on simmer and just let that cook a little bit. Oh my gosh, I just cannot wait to eat this. And I'm just going to clean up this mess a little bit, and we're going to go from there. So here it is, what it looks like. I mean, doesn't that look good? I cannot wait. I hope Chris likes it, because that's my main taste tester. And the Brussels sprouts are just over here. And I'm just going to cook that in with a little bit of bacon grease that I will melt with a little bit of shallots, and garnish it with a little bit of parsley and bacon. Okay, while the, you don't really have to have a starch with this chicken with a creamy sun-dried tomato, mushroom spinach sauce. But I am cooking pasta just a little bit to just kind of complement with the chicken. But I just had a bunch of Brussels sprouts, and I just thought it'd be kind of neat. I kind of cut them, you know, like shave them or cut them really thin. And so it's kind of like shaved Brussels sprouts. And so I'm just gonna saute these really quick in a little bit of butter, olive oil, and just salt and pepper. It's almost like you're roasting them, but you're sauteing them. And so I'm gonna do that. I'm going to add shallots. I'm gonna saute the shallots first and then add in the Brussels sprouts. But I just cooked up some bacon, and this is about, I think, 2 slices of bacon, just kind of finely chopped. I'm gonna add that to the Brussels sprouts too. I just thought that would be kind of neat. And I might even add in a little bit of oregano to kind of complement what I added in with the chicken. So this is just parsley. I'm just gonna kind of rough chop. I just thought that would be kind of a nice little garnish over the Brussels sprouts. I'm just gonna move that aside, and let's see here. I'm gonna see if my pasta's done. Nope, not quite. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cook up the Brussels sprouts. Pasta is very simple. I'm just doing pasta. I'm gonna put a little butter in there with a little bit of garlic and some basil that I chiffonne on, or you know, cut them up in little ribbons, and just sprinkle a little bit of parm on the pasta. So let's get going with this. And because bacon is going to go on this, I thought it'd be kind of neat to also saute this with a little bit of the leftover bacon grease, and I'll add in, like, you know, maybe a tablespoon of butter to that. Boy, we've got a lot of rich food going on here. So let's head on over to the stove. As long as this little girl doesn't trip me. Hi Daisy, hi. She is with me all the time in the kitchen, hoping she'll get a scrap or two. I don't know. So I'm gonna tilt this down a little bit. There you go. Hopefully you can see all this stuff that's happening here. I think one of the things, I've got a lot of Le Creuset dishes and stuff, but I love this lid handle top. A couple of them I have the metal, I don't know, lid topper, and no, I don't like it. It's too hot. You always have to have a hot pad or something like that, and I'm kind of bummed that it's kind of an extra, so I'm gonna have to go online and check on that. But my chicken is looking good. Let's kind of cook up the Brussels sprouts here. Just gonna add in a butter. Well, maybe this little piece. That'll be it. Oh, I was gonna add the shallots first. Oh yeah. I think that's hot enough. Probably should have just chopped up the whole thing. Okay, this shallot was so small, I just chopped up the rest of it. Okay, we're going to add in our Brussels sprouts. I'm going to turn down this heat though. It's going a little bit too hot for me. Then I'm just going to add in a little bit of salt here. And you just want to cook down the Brussels sprouts. Boy, there's a lot more here than I thought. And you know, you can count this as your wilted salad or something. It's just gonna be hot. A little bit of salt there. And again, I just found that doing it this way, or roasting, it's still, sauteing them can still bring out a little bit of their sweetness. I tell you, I think I have a feeling that the more I wear glasses, the more my eyes are gonna get used to them. Oh dear. I was really hoping. But these are just like reading glasses, just to help me put things in a little bit perspective. I can see far away. Oh yeah. I'm gonna add in the bacon. Get the bacon. I'm definitely gonna turn this down. But the Brussels sprouts cook up really quick. I mean, look at this. This is gonna be so good. Simple. If you wanted to add a little bit of garlic, go ahead, or something else. Oh yeah, was I gonna add a little bit of oregano in here? I think I was. Just a pinch. I mean, it was hardly nothing. Okay, I think my noodles are done. We're gonna get ready to serve everything up, you guys. So my noodles are cooking away. I don't know, you don't need to have pasta with the chicken, but I just felt like I needed it. But I had leftover Brussels sprouts, so we're gonna have that as our little veggie. And then look at this chicken. Oh, cannot wait. Okay, well, my goodness, I am finally done cooking. So we're having chicken in a creamy sun-dried tomato spinach sauce. I don't know what to call it because I'm... Oh, yeah. Felix always wants to hang out with both of us. If we are both... Oh, I said Felix. Oh, my gosh. See, I still miss my Felix. Yeah, Daisy May always wants to hang out with Chris and I, especially if we're really nice and close to each other.
And no, we don't let her eat at the table. In fact, we don't even let her have any of...
Yeah, nothing. And look at that. She's so excited now. She smells it all. Oh my goodness. Chris, what did you do? Anyway, I merged two recipes together, so I'm not sure what title I'll give this, but, oh yeah, the pasta. Oh. It's so hot. These pans are so hot. Hang on here for a sec. I'm hoping.
Right, yeah.
I'm just going to put it right here on this napkin.
Here.
Are you sure? Okay. There we go. Whew! My goodness. Anyway, so let's dish up. I want Chris to taste this.
I want to taste it.
It's just a little bit of pasta. Is that enough?
Oh, yeah, that's plenty.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, that's still good.
Well, I just completely made a mess of that. Anyway. Okay, here's the chicken. Oh, man. Okay, there you go. Here, wait a minute. You need a little bit of the sauce in there going on. Okay, and then you just want to dish yourself up a little bit of the Brussels sprouts. Because we had those last time. I know, he doesn't do vegetables, but I made this kind of Brussels sprouts before. And he said he really liked it.
I did.
And because I added bacon to it.
She added bacon.
Doesn't bacon make everything taste
so
good?
So they should be tolerable.
Okay, let me dish up my stuff real quick.
Of course.
Or we could just take a bite of yours, I guess.
We could do that too.
I just want a little bit. I don't know. I just felt like maybe because it's chicken and the sauce and the sun-dried tomatoes, I just felt like pasta with it. Not rice, no, yuck. Or another thing could be polenta. That would be really good. We're just going to put this out right here. Oops, I'm sorry. Look at how nice he is to me. I don't need a huge piece of chicken.
How nice he is to me.
Oh. Okay, I don't even know what piece to get. Okay, hang on here. Get a little bit of this, sun-dried tomatoes, a little bit of spinach and mushrooms in there. And of course, wait a minute, I gotta, hang on here. So y'all can see, you gotta decorate it, you gotta garnish it a little bit. Just a little few sprigs of basil on it. Oh yeah. Dress it up a little bit. A little parsley on the Brussels sprouts. And there you go. Check it out over at Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. This is like a chicken and a creamy sun-dried tomato sauce. I think it's going to taste great. He's my tester. Taste tester.
It's a tough job, but somebody has to do it.
Oh, I hope it's good. Mm. Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Do you think it's good?
Mm-hmm. And I really like your sauce. Wow, that is really a good flavor.
Yeah, it's not too salty.
Oh, no,
It's basically a cream sauce. I did put a little parm in it,
Okay.
Parmesan.
yeah, since I wasn't watching, I don't know what's in it, but that is a great sauce. I like it.
I think I would have added a little bit more sun-dried tomato. If you get a bite of the sun-dried tomato, oh, I tell you, the flavor of it, it's like roasting it. You get that little tart, that little sweet in it. Oh, good. You guys, this is a winner. I'm so excited. Woohoo!
Mwah.
So check it out over at Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen.
Check it out.
Yes. So thank you for joining me, and keep enjoying gathering around the table with family and friends. But I hope you like it. So let me know. Bye.